Hello, this is Steve, and we have a slightly different video today because yesterday was a very important day for some of my students. It was the university entrance exam for the subject of English, the subject that I teach them. So I thought what I'll do is I'd make a quick video explaining the answers to the reading and use of English, the parts that have obviously quick correct answers, to share with them and to share with anyone else who's interested in how this exam went yesterday. So let's start with the reading, which is about the very strange topic of rich American women who married poor British men for their aristocratic titles. It's a strange topic and it's quite a difficult text, but the questions are quite friendly, so I'm hoping that my students did well on this. Question 1 then, we have a fact about dollar princesses, which we can find in here, their relationship with their parents. Did they marry against their parents' wishes? No, their parents sold their daughters. It doesn't say that this was not what they wanted to do, so we can eliminate A. Did they save their parents' fortune? No, they were rich. Their parents were rich, so they didn't need to save their fortune. Did they challenge their parents' authority? Their relationship in this way is not mentioned, so I think we can also eliminate C. So it should be D. Did they improve their parents' prestige in social circles? They got a shortcut to social acceptance for the fathers. So that means the same thing. They improved their prestige. They got social acceptance. So the answer is D. For question 2, what happened after the wedding? Well, we need to skip to the part about their marriage. And we can find in the third paragraph, about their marriage, they were cold, contracts and so on. What do we find out? Were they made fun of by their husbands? No, they were mocked, but it doesn't say by husbands. Were they on their own? What evidence do we have for that? Well, if their husbands were strangers and they had no support, this implies they were on their own. So this seems to fit. We can eliminate the others as well. Did they entertain themselves with their fortunes? They remodeled their homes, which were horrible before. Is this entertaining themselves? Not really. And were they held in high regard by the other nobles? No, they were marginalized, meaning put in the margins, cast aside. So the answer is B. So we have 1, D for Denmark, 2, B for Barcelona. For our true and false questions, the first one, were the nobles unable to pay to preserve their residences? Well, they were desperate for cash for the costly maintenance of their aging mansions. That means the same thing. So it is true. They couldn't pay to maintain their houses. Did the American government grant aristocratic titles? No, this was forbidden, meaning prohibited, forbade, irregular past participle of past simple of forbid. So that's prohibited. That's definitely false. And that's why. That's the quote you need. For number 5, did they date before the wedding? Did they go on dates? They were complete strangers. And that implies that they did not go on dates because they didn't know each other. You know, if you're strangers, you don't know someone. You haven't been on a date with them. Can we still see their legacy? Yes, we can. This whole story about Diana Spencer, Princess of Wales, implies that traces, parts, aspects of the legacy is still seen in today's British royal family with Diana Spencer, who is in line to the British throne. So that's going to be true. It's a long quote there, but I think as long as you've got the relevant part about the connection, you'll be okay. So that's our true and false questions. Now, finding the words, not much to explain here. You just have to read it many times until you find it and the way that it fits the sentence. Talking about origins, where people are from, their families, their backgrounds, it's going to be roots. Their roots are not aristocratic. They're just normal people, normal families. To ridicule, we saw before, is to mock. To change the structure of a building is to remodel it. And betting money in a game is gambling. That one comes up. I've seen that before on selectividad exams, so I hope you got that one. Now, this is where it gets tough, because the grammar I was a bit less happy with on this new format. Most of them are good, but let's get into them and we'll talk about why they might be difficult. First one, if it's a conditional. If I had been sure, I would have told you. We need a third conditional because I didn't tell you. So we're imagining, well, if I had been sure, I would have told you. But I didn't tell you because I wasn't sure. Number 2, a fairly easy one. If it's too wet, it isn't dry enough. Bit of vocab to know that wet is the opposite of dry, and that we use to and enough with the infinitive, to be taken. Number 3, we also studied this, of course. You prefer to do something, you would rather do it. I would rather not go. You need to remove the to. That is the form of how we use rather in that verb. Number 4, allowed is an adjective. You are allowed to do something. They aren't allowed to leave. You're allowed to do it because it's an adjective, so adjective plus infinitive. Number 5, this is a horribly tough question. I didn't teach this to my class, so if they chose this, I don't think they would all get it right, which is annoying because we should be getting 10 out of 10 on this if you're watching my videos and doing lots of English work. It's time they did something. This is a backshift phrase. It's time they went home means they should go home. It's backshifted, meaning you put the tense back. The same as we did study with I wish I was rich. You're talking about the present, but you use the past tense because it's one of these phrases, I wish, if only. And it's time is another phrase that does this, but not a common one. But hopefully my students managed to figure that out. And number 6, that is an easy one, isn't it? It's a passive. Manuel is considered an expert on manga, is considered to be. That's just a passive sentence. We study that a lot. So you've got 3 marks for those, if you chose that one, or if you chose block 2. Let's have a quick look at these. The first one is a question. Why was Lisa so curious? Why Lisa was so curious? Why is Lisa so curious? Because we are now in direct speech. So we say, why is Lisa? Subject, verb, subject, because it's a question. We've studied reported speech. 8, we didn't study, because how can you study this? This is just a random bit of English. This is the tough thing with the new selectividad exam, it seems. They're throwing in some random bits of English, which if you have a good level, you will get. But I don't think a lot of people studied this for their selectividad exam. Let's go implies a suggestion. How can you make a suggestion with how? The phrase is how about? How about doing something? How about going to Scotland? And how about, for a suggestion, will then be followed by ing, because about is a preposition plus ing. Number 9, typical phrase for your B1, B2 English, smoking, giving up smoking. Gave up smoking 3 months ago. So we need to know the phrasal verb gave up. We need to know that a phrasal verb is followed by ing, because it's a preposition again. And we need to know how to use ago. In this case, something that happened at a moment in the past. Past simple, she gave up. When did it happen? 3 months ago, if she hasn't done it for 3 months. B10, another one that we did study. This is a causative sentence. You should see straight away. Gets, Urban Flora does it. Anna gets it done. She gets gardenia bouquets. Bouquet is a bunch of flowers. She gets gardenia bouquets delivered. You have or get something done. Bouquets delivered. That is how we use the causative that we did study plenty in class. So I hope we got that one. 11 is a fairly easy comparative, isn't it? Dimitri speaks English better than Alina. If Alina cannot speak as well as Dimitri, then Dimitri speaks better. We are using the comparative adverb there. Better can be used as an adverb. And finally, it's another conditional, but this time it's with unless. Unless she gets top marks, because unless is like a negative word. If it doesn't happen, unless she gets top marks, Masha will be disappointed. It's a first conditional with unless. And that's the complete exam. Once you've done your writing, which I'm not going to go into because you know how to do a good writing by now. It's clear, it's correct. You answer the question, you stick to it, you use your nice organizational phrases and all of that. Hope that was useful, and stick around for some Cambridge videos if you want. Goodbye.